Whereas Duane Flatmo has left his mark on this city, on its people, and on the world in countless imaginative and inspiring ways, and it is fitting that a part of the city be named in honor of the local treasure he so undeniably is, placing his name in the heart of Eureka for generations to come. And that, in recognition of his extraordinary creativity, community spirit, and joyful mischief, the city also presents Duane Flatmo with a key to the city.
This is get out of jail free card too.
Symbolizing that while he may already have the keys to our hearts, he now officially has one to Eureka as well. And now, therefore, I, Mayor Kim Burgell, on behalf of the Eureka City Council, and on behalf of Duane's wife, Mickey, everyone who has ever counted him as a mentor, and every member in our community whose favorite hoodie proudly features a Flatmo creation on it, do hereby proclaim that the city of Eureka is proud, so proud, to officially name the alley between F and G Street, between 4th and 5th Street, Flatmo Alley. In honor of a local treasure whose creativity, humor, and unmistakable artistic spirit have left an indelible mark on the city and far beyond. Be it further proclaimed that on the occasion of the official dedication of Duane Flatmo Alley, the city of Eureka proudly presented a key to the city to Duane Flatmo, whose creativity, whimsy, and unmistakable spirit have made Eureka brighter, more joyful, and delightfully unexpected. While we may not know exactly what this key opens, we are certain Duane will find a wonderfully imaginative use for it. And by the way, we have just one other small gift for you. It's not small, it's actually gloriously fabulous. And on the back it says, thank you for inspiring young and old with your art alike. Amazing. Duane Flatmo, City of Eureka. I want to tell you all this is made by the Royal Crown Maker for the Kinetic Sculpture. We have a key.
Wow.
2 keys to the city for this guy. 2 cities. So, your audience, your friends, your people that love you very much, we want to hear something from you now.
Okay.
Hold the mic close to your mouth.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Well, first of all, before we start, I'll have to talk about 2 people.
Closer to your mouth.
Two people who I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them, and I wouldn't be the person I am. If I start to cry a little bit, just bear with me. My wife, Mickey. We've been married 41 years, and together for 45. She did the kinetic race for many years with me, and then broke loose and did her own machine. And once she won the race, she quit. She said, "I'm done." And so you know, and then my mom. I want you all to, if you can see her. So my mom, I wouldn't be here because she had me. And I wouldn't be here because she trained me. Right? Yeah. And I'm just so happy. I'm so happy to see you all here. It's not just a celebration for me. It's a celebration for all the people in Humboldt County that are such a genuine group of people. When I moved here in '77, I wasn't sure this was going to be the place I wanted to live. You know, I got here, but I fell in love with it. And I always have wanted to make it better. If I see trash on the ground, my pet peeve is to pick up at least one piece of trash a day, you know, and put it in a receptacle. And I would teach my mural kids how to do this. For 12 years, I taught at-risk kids. They'd get in trouble doing graffiti, and they'd have to work off community service hours. And a lot of them were kind of tough. I had to break through the shell a little bit. But a lot of them have taken off and become artists in their own right. And it's so powerful to see that happen. When you see these kids take it another step. I started off, you know, painting signs and working at Sears when I first moved here. So I didn't even do art. I took classes at CR, and the first job was Bucksport Sporting Goods, and I did most bagels and then all the murals with the kids. And this is kind of a neat alley because it's kind of where all of this whole thing started. That was the first mural the kids did, the dogs. And there used to be a building, and that was Bistron's, and they had horrible graffiti all over it, and there was even a Nazi symbol there. And in the city had Nancy Fleming, Cindy Probert Thomas, Libby Maynard. They all got together, and they said there was a grant open from the California Arts Council, and would you like to work weekends? Well, I did that for 12 years straight, and then after working with those kids that long, I went and got a vasectomy right away. No, I would tell the kids that just as a joke, but you know, they understood because they were. But I told the kids, I'm not your parents, and I'm not your teacher. I'm that in-between person who is not going to, you know, grade you or get on you about stuff. And it kind of won them over, and they understood we're a group. We're like a little gang. You know, we go around drinking all the alleys. And this was kind of the area it started, so I feel really good about this spot. Anyway, I'm glad to see all of you here. I've had some health issues, as you probably heard. It's not good, and I'm just taking one day at a time. And my doctor, when he kind of gave me the news and stuff, they said, so a lot of people just pass away and they have a heart attack and they never say goodbye to their loved one, or they never, and I thought, you know, they said you can go home and get your parents together, get friends to come stop in, and I thought, well, let's do a party. I don't want to know. I don't want you to tell me, oh, you got this many months to live or this. I said, you take away a person's hope when you put a date, you know. And I just like to think there's still a miracle out there somewhere. And I'm very positive, so I'm just going to, like in life, I've always just grabbed the bull by the horns, and I just keep going and keep doing good stuff and leave the world a better place than we got here. You know, if you've done stuff that are good things, that's what we can all hope for, right? I mean, you know, and a friend of mine, Andrew, right here, he grabbed me by the shoulders and looked at me and said, Duane, you won. You win. You won life. You don't I really believe that. I mean, I look back and I go, what else do we have? We have memories. We have all the things we do, and hopefully, when we're near the end, we can look back and say, yeah, I did it, and I did it on good terms, and I didn't mess up too bad. You know, we all try to do good. So, thank you very much. I love you all. I love you all. We're gonna light some fire. Katie's gonna talk first. Katie is the one who took over my mural project when I quit after 12 years. And Katie took it over and did murals with these kids after me, so we carried it on. And when I got to town, there was 2 murals. There was the big wave on the waterbed store, and there was a big whale. And I knew Randy Spicer was here. He did the wave. He's done a lot of murals. He did that Louis Armstrong across the alley on that side. He's an amazing guy, and I got to meet him and everything. So there was 2 murals, and I started painting murals, you know, and then pretty soon the class came. And now with this new group of muralists, they're doing all that street art festival with the murals. They've created a bunch more, and there's probably over 80 murals around this area. And so, you know, it's a real good positive thing. So, anyway, I love you all. And we're going to play some songs.
I don't know why he asked me to follow him. Yeah, I was one of those at-risk kids that showed up, although my only real risk was enjoying, like, showing up and knowing how to paint. So he put me to work. We talked a lot about Duane's impact on the community. You see his stuff everywhere, but for me this is really personal. Duane has been a mentor and a friend to me, and when I came into Humboldt 20 years ago, I knew exactly one person, and fortunately that person knew Duane. His name is Willoughby, and he wrote a poem. I'm going to read you the poem because it goes for me too. And then we're going to show off this landmark that we've created. When we did Duane's work, we would come into class and we would draw a picture and he'd say, okay, great, now make it look like I did it. So we learned how to work and make our stuff look like Flatmo, and that study is called Flatmology. Flatmology. Duane Flatmo taught me how to mix paints, how to hold a ladder, how to flick a bottle cap across the kinetic lab, and then get yelled at about it. How to assemble a team, how to grid a wall, how to make flat cardboard round, how to make something out of nothing, how to go for glory, how to do it for love, how to transform, how to get free bagels for life. How to share, how to make sure the youth are all fed, how to listen, how to tease my friend in a loving way, how to work hard, how to play harder, that it's good to grow up because adults tend to have so much fun. I learned how to weld, how to make anything I could imagine with paper mache, how to make a pun into a monument, to always bring my toothbrush, how to salvage, how to push paint around, how to use tools, how to play tricycle piccolo with a stale bagel. No, wait, tricycle polo. How to play tricycle polo with a stale trollo, thank you. Without moving, and I still have all 10 of my fingers. Not to tag on someone else's artwork.
Yes! Yeah, big rule. You know who you are.
How to make visual assault. How to paint the town, how to follow my passion, how to be a good role model, how to be larger than life, how to write in all caps with a paintbrush, how to see it from more than one angle at one time, how to learn, how to pass the torch, and how to be a teacher. It is for all that when Duane's wife, the amazing artist and beautiful human being, Nikki Dyson Flatmo, suggested that we name something in Eureka after this amazing human, I worked to make sure that we found something that didn't already have a name, and it turns out to be this perfect location. So it is my great honor and privilege to present to you Duane Flatmo Alley.
Anybody get up here?
Stand up and let's take a picture.